Hello, and today let's talk about The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon and how will this show end. And we do know a surprising bit about the ending of the show already, even though they haven't even, according to Melissa McBride and Norman Reedus, even written the final 2 episodes yet. They do have a rough idea about the ending, which is quite exciting. And as Norman Reedus has said, the ending is not going to be what we expect. So we know this is not going to be a normal, they get on the boat and they get back to America. This is going to be a very out of left field ending. And I definitely do think the ending of Daryl Dixon, because we know there is another spin-off, the crossover spin-off that's coming out, this ending is going to set up that. So it's not going to be as simple, they get back to the Commonwealth. I believe that what we're going to get at the ending of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is that Rick and the CRM are going to save Daryl, and that's what I think is going to be the shock ending for the show. We know we're getting something shocking and twisting, and that's what I think makes the most sense. If you're not going to give us Rick and the CRM, I think the CRM are going to be connected somehow to the ending of Daryl Dixon. I don't see this as a tight bow, and why I'm saying Rick and the CRM is because I feel like Daryl Dixon is going to set up the big crossover we're going to get in a couple years' time after the ending of Daryl Dixon. I think Dead City takes place after this event, and Daryl Dixon takes place before the event. So that's why I think we're going to get something with Rick or the CRM, or hopefully both, to set that up. I think Daryl Dixon is definitely going to set that up. And this also does confirm, because we're not getting a normal ending, they said it's going to be something that you're not going to expect. As I said, there's going to be obviously them getting on the boat and heading back to America. Their whole plans to get back to America are ruined by the end of Season 2 start of Season 3. I also think to get rid of the option if they get on the boat, Julian, Stephen Merchant's character, will die in Season 3, if not Season 4. He is not surviving the events of the next 2 seasons, just so they can't have they get on the boat and head to America. That's what everyone expects. So, very left field, it's either CRM, Rick, and that's how they get back. I also think this is going to be a very far-reaching one. I think the CRM is a bit more probable than this. We are not going to have Daryl and Carol return together. I don't think either of them will die, but we do know a little bit about Carol's journey in the Spain storyline. She'll be learning Spanish, and it looks like she might have a romantic interest in Spain. And this is making me think they are not just going to tell the same story twice with Carol instead of Daryl. I think this romance option is going to survive the show, and Carol's not going to come back with Daryl. That's what I think. I think Carol's story is about her moving on, and I think what would be best for Carol's character would be her finding a new family, accepting that Daryl must go home because now he has his new family back in America again, but she's got nothing back there outside of Daryl. I think she's going to find someone in Spain, and that's why she's learning Spanish, and that's why we're going to have a shocking ending. Daryl returns alone, Carol stays in Europe. And I think that could be the big shock as well. So it could be either the CRM and Rick thing. We know Daryl and Rick are on a collision course, and it makes sense to have a reunion because the whole point of this show was Daryl on his journey to go find Rick and being sidetracked in Europe. If that doesn't happen in the show, it'd be really, really dumb. So that is maybe a must-have. And I believe that Carol probably won't come back. And I did say, this is least likely. But the more I talk about it, the more I think about it, I do think that is definitely going to happen. The CRM stuff could be a stretch, actually. And Carol, yes, she's not coming back. I think Carol's story will end in Spain, but it'll be a happy story for Carol. And that's how I think Daryl Dixon's going to end. It's not as simple they get on the boat. I think it is Carol's not going to come back, and Rick and the CRM, or just Rick or the CRM, will be involved in some way or form to tie off the story of Daryl finding or getting home, and then to set up this new spin-off that we're gonna get in the near future. However, this is just my thoughts and opinions, so please tell me down below. Do you agree with my thoughts on how The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon will end? Do you like my ideas? Do you dislike them? Please tell me down in the comments. But this is it for me today, so thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later.